Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be describing in detail the 8 different ways that we can use our resources. So stay tuned. Hey y'all, and thanks again for watching another episode of Single Parents Toolbox. So many of us don't always realize the resources that we could probably use that are out there. Many times we even actually use our own resources and don't even think about the fact that we're using a resource. The first one that I would like to mention is DHS and social services. There are a few different programs that they actually offer, and you can go right into your local office and apply for these programs, or you can apply over the phone, or they even sometimes have a website nowadays that you can use if you have the internet. The first one I would like to bring up is something most of us think about: food stamps. Thankfully, it's not the way it used to be in the olden days where we gave a check. Instead, we can just slide it like any old debit card and continue on our way. The next one I would like to talk about that maybe we don't always think about is something called FIP. This stands for Family Investment Program. And this one, I would like to caution you that you only get 60 months, or in other words, 5 years, to be able to use this resource. And this is generally a thing that you would use in between jobs, or maybe while you go to college to increase your skill level, to then be able to gain a higher paying job. This also is a great benefit for those of you who do not always receive the right amount of child support every single month. Perhaps you receive child support on some months, and then other months it just kind of disappears for a while, and then it continues. Or perhaps they don't pay child support at all for a few years. This is a great way, especially if you start where they don't owe you back payment, because the thing is they take that amount that they give you in FIP and they take it out of your child support amount. So you do not get to be able to have FIP and child support at the same time. You, instead of child support, get FIP, but in return, you get a steady flow of income while you're trying to make things work again. So it's definitely something to consider as an option. The next one I would like to talk to you about is something called child care assistance. Now, this is for people that have a certain amount of hours. So you're not able to really just do a 15-hour a week shift or shifts. You will need to do just about full time in order to have this. However, you can use this benefit whenever you go to school, or you can use it in order to go back to work. The choice is up to you. I would definitely ask if you're able to use it as a combination between the two, or if it has to just be one or the other. I wouldn't really know, so that would definitely be a question that you would need to ask your local DHS or social services worker that helps you with the program. The next one I would like to bring up is for things to be able to pay your hospital bills, dentist, eye exams, or even regular hospital visits. This would be known as Medicaid. Now, keep in mind, there is a difference between Medicaid and Medicare. Medicare are for people that are a lot older and wiser. So those people that are about 65 or older that are in retirement age are generally ones that will be using Medicare. Medicaid are for people that are of lower income, and it definitely also goes according to your household size. So for example, if it's just you and a child, it would be a household income of 2, and so on and so forth. Also, something to keep in mind, thanks to the Obamacare program, is that there are different plans within the Medicaid program, as well as the Medicare program. So you're not going to be able to just use one phone number just for all of your medical bills that you would have one number for your dentist program, another number for your hospital visits, and etc. So make sure that you keep informed and you definitely ask questions. Maybe even take a few notes on it just until you get the general idea. The second resource I would like to discuss are other food resources that many of you don't think of. One of these resources are something called a local food bank. This is where once a month you are able to go in and you're able to get help with different produce, different things that you'll need in the household when you're a little short on food. And this can be a great way that you can actually help feed your family. And they also go according to household income and the size of your household. So the more people in your family, the more that you're going to be able to have in food because you have more mouths to feed. So this is a really great thing to think about. Another thing under that you might not realize is something called WIC. Women, Infant, and Children. So this is something that you're able to use when you start having a baby and you're pregnant. This is something you should get on right away because you need all of those nutrients as you're carrying that child, and they can help you with that. You are also able to still apply if you are on food stamps. Keep that in mind because with that, you're able to in turn get more food, and milk's pretty expensive. So you're able to get more milk with using WIC. Did you know that with WIC, you can even sometimes during certain months benefit with farmers market? So that's a really great benefit that oftentimes we don't think about when it comes to WIC. WIC can also, as you have your baby, depending on if you breastfeed or formula feed, they can help you in a variety of ways with both categories. You are able to get formula for your baby with WIC. You are also able to get different nutrients that you need to produce the milk to feed your child with WIC. You are also able to continue to use these benefits until your child turns to be a certain age for your child. This is a really great resource to use. Another resource within this category that I would like to talk to you about are different community kitchens or soup kitchens. With these, you're able to get the benefit of eating certain meals, generally during a lunch hour, although sometimes they also offer it during supper. So you don't have to worry about as many groceries. And you can also sometimes get bread occasionally, maybe during certain months, like the summertime especially, you're able to get extra produce. Now, keep in mind when you get things from these locations that generally people donate, which is great that they donate. However, they also have certain expiration dates on these. And these expiration dates are really close when they're donating to something like a soup kitchen. Maybe experiment a little bit. Get so many loaves of bread one time and see how fast your family will actually go through it before it gets too moldy. And try to eat that within 2 to 3 days. This way, you're able to decide how much you can really get and how much of it won't be a waste, because the amount that you're able to get or the amount that you do not need can actually go to another family that needs the same amount that you do. So keep that in mind when you do that, because you don't want something to just go into the garbage, because then it's just a waste of food. Also, another thing you can do is maybe keep track at home of when you go and get these and how fast you go through them. Perhaps you're a family of 4 and you go through a loaf of bread within an entire day or 2 days, depending on your family and their needs. The third resource I would like to bring up with you are other state or county programs. These programs you can actually probably even get more information on through your local social services or DHS offices. Other places that you might be able to hear different programs from are different charges. Different charges actually can help you with rental assistance, different things that you might need, like, for example, a baby pantry. Baby pantry is something that's pretty much like a food pantry, where instead of food, you're able to get different needs for your baby, like wipes, diapers, clothes. You just call in and you let them know what you need, and generally they get you those. But you only can use it once a month, just like the food bank. Another community program that you might be able to benefit from is something called Caring Pregnancy Center. Depending on your location, you're able to do certain things and receive certain points in order to buy different things, which is all on a point-based system. And that is something that you could actually talk to them about, because they also have other things like being able to have free pregnancy tests and so on and so forth. Another program that you might be able to get with this category is things like energy assistance, rental assistance, things of that nature. And it is something that you're going to have to hunt around for, use the internet, figure out what your location is able to benefit from, and go from there. The fourth resource I would like to bring up is something called a quid pro quo. In other words, hey, if you scratch your back, if I scratch your back, you scratch mine type of a thing. Give and take. So, for example, maybe you need somebody to help you with your children. You need somebody to watch them while you go and earn an income. So one day you decide to tell a friend, okay, how about you watch my children on these days at this time frame, because I work this type of shift and you work this type of shift, so I can watch your children after I go to work and come home, and then you can pick them up when you're done from work. Or perhaps you guys have different days. Either way, you know your situation and you know the type of circle that you have of friends and family that you can trust with your children. You can also do this perhaps in exchange for, maybe you could clean their house in exchange for them watching your children for you so that you can earn a living or go back to school. Maybe you say, okay, these things need fixed, or maybe my car needs fixed. Perhaps this person knows how to fix cars. I know how to clean, or I know how to bake, or whatever have you. You're exchanging one favor for another. And this is a great way to save on money and be able to use those resources. Which brings me to my fifth one, is start a parenting club. I don't remember what movie this was in, but it was comical. It was about these single moms from different stages of life and different situations that they're in, and they come together at the most unlikely odds, become friends, and start this group where they're like, man, I just need some adult time. How many can relate? I know I can. So there are different moments where, as much as we love our children, where we could use another adult. And this thing actually helped them be able to do that. One of their friends would stay with all the children that all of them had together, and they would have the other friends go out and do something fun. Perhaps they went out to a club and danced. They might have all gone to a movie, whatever have you. They all did that. But keep in mind, this does not have to just be limited to single moms. This can work just as easily for single dads or a mixture of all of them. The choice is really up to you. If any of you guys know this movie, by the way, please feel free to tell me in my comments below, because it is driving me crazy. Okay, I'm back. I'm calm. Number 6 is find something that you're very good at and sell it, okay? Say you're good at cleaning. Start a cleaning service business. Maybe you're great at candle making. Sell it. Perhaps you're really great at baking. Start a baking service. Either way, whatever your talents are, explore them, figure out what you're good at, and work with it. Sell it. There's nothing saying you have to always click in and out. Although I would caution you that as you're starting up your own business, it would be a good idea to keep that job until you have the money rolling in. Which brings me to number 7. If you have a friend that has a certain skill, ask them to teach you. Maybe you know a friend that knows how to sew very well, or perhaps a friend knows how to crochet and you've wanted to crochet for years. Either way, these are great skills that we don't even think about today in our society that could actually benefit us. And guess what? If you learn how to sew, maybe you could start designing and making your own clothes. I mean, reach for the stars here. You've got this. Either way, if you learn a skill or what have you, you can actually use it later on, whether it's to make an income for your family or be able to just have a hobby, or it could even benefit your family in another way. Last but not least, number 8. Number 8 is to use your resources to go back to college. It is not too late. Just because you have children does not mean it's too late to go back to school. Now, keep this to what you would like to do and to whatever is best in your situation, because no one is going to know your own situation but you. But I'm going to tell you, within this category, there are tons of things that you can do. The first one I would like to talk to you about is something called FAFSA.gov. If you decide to go back to school and you get an education, for people that have a lower income, there are scholarships that you can apply for, which aren't exactly always in FAFSA, but there are grants that you don't have to pay back for a certain amount. Now, keep in mind, when you go back to school, there is a limit on how much you get in a lifetime. That is something I did not know until later in life. So please keep that in mind as you use this. Hopefully it's not too late before you've seen this video and I've been able to warn you about this. When you go back to school, make sure you have great grades so that, for one, you can use that to be able to get all kinds of scholarships. 2, you're able to use that to further your education. And 3, you don't run out of money to be able to go to school. Another thing FAFSA helps you to do is to be able to have student loans. These are low interest loans that you can utilize in order to better your life. When you do this, also make sure that you create your own budget and you stick with that plan that you budgeted with. You can also, like I mentioned before, use different scholarships. You can also get on different programs, get yourself on the rental assistance and the food stamps, because maybe it's going to be more challenging for you to also work as you go back to school. If your grades are better by not going to work as you're also going to school and taking care of your family, don't beat yourself up about it. It took me years to be able to learn that, because quite frankly, school and raising your family on your own is already a full-time job. The great thing about going back to school is you can also build up your skill level. So once you build up your skill level, you're able to make more money per hour. So let's just review all the things I've talked to you about. The first one is to make sure that you go to a DHS or social services office and apply for whatever programs that you need for you and your family. There's no shame in it. Use what you need to use. It is a resource. The second one is to use all those different food saving ideas that I mentioned. Go to community kitchens if you need to. Go to the local food bank, get on a WIC program, whatever you feel will benefit you and your family the best. Use it. Number 3 is to use all the different community resources available to you, because each location, each county, city, town, what have you, will all have different types of programs that you can use within your community. And make sure that you go to your local social services or DHS office to figure out what those are, or even look online. Another one is the quid pro quo, like I mentioned. Do a favor in exchange for another favor. Give and take. Of course, number 5, start a single parenting group, which you guys can all benefit from. Number 6, use a skill and sell it. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to be an accomplished business owner and not even know it. How are you going to know unless you try? Number 7, if you know somebody who already has a skill that you've been dying to learn from them while you can. It's not too late. Last but not least, go back to college. If you decide it's right for you and you need to be able to better your life, don't be afraid to do it. Anyways, thank you so much again for watching my channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, and don't forget to click that bell icon if you haven't already. Also, look me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I also even have my own email address. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I am here for you guys. I want to better your life. I've had all these years of things that I wish somebody would have told me about. And please look for my next video on ways to stretch out your EBT dollars. Thanks for watching. Ciao, babies.